Time for another edit extras. This time we're getting multilingual, the easy way, translating and transforming a whole video from English to Spanish. If you want to edit along with me, show us your results by tagging us. So, this is a video I've already created in English, and I'm going to replicate the video in Spanish, using the DeepReel app on CANVA. So first of all, we're going to add one page and paste my entire script in English. This is all of the text I use to generate my avatars. For the English version of this product demo, I'll alter the size to fit as much as possible on screen. Don't worry, this will be deleted once the video is complete. Then I'll select that page and head to translate. Select the text and translate to Spanish. There are a range of languages to choose from in the drop-down menu. Next, we'll head over to DeepReel. Select Ava the avatar. Using the colour picker, you can match your avatar's background to your slide background. Even if you're planning to remove it, this will give the smoothest outline. However, the first two slides require a white background. So I'll generate this avatar first, with just the first paragraph of script. We'll make the video Spanish, and this should remain selected so you don't have to keep going back and selecting it each time you generate a video. Then I'll generate the rest in purple or whichever colour is dominant behind the avatar. This is because of CANVA's background remover tool not being 100% reliable, with certain outlines such as the hair on this avatar. It does work well for the most part, but this is something to keep in mind. I'll also add a few spaces in between the text, to make it easier to distinguish between these sentences, seeing as I'm not fluent in this language. I have to break the text into multiple generations as we are limited to 900 characters, so I'll work my way through the script and continue the process for each section. I'm previewing my speech as I double check my generation will match my text. I'll keep referring back to my script to ensure I'm understanding some of the translated words in various sentences. I'm not fluent in Spanish, so it's the best way I've found to replace each sentence or section at a time by comparing my scripts and understanding where each sentence starts and ends in the Spanish-generated videos. Now that we've got our new avatars, we're going to start to replace the English-speaking ones. I know that the sentence ends on the word customers or clientes, so I need to make the video end on this word. So I'm going to replace the first. I'll simply click this scissors icon and trim the generated video I've added to ensure it stops once the first sentence is complete. So we're going to continue this process and replace all of the avatars, then we can tackle the text. Drag and drop the video into the frame to replace and crop to make sure the avatar is central to the frame. So we have our assets. Click the avatar you need, trim to the sentence you're replacing and refer to the script if needed. I know this should end on the line "where they are," which comes after a comma, and in my Spanish script the phrase after the comma is "donde estén," so this whole highlighted area is what I need to trim to. Next, we'll remove the background on this avatar to match it to its English counterpart. There's no need to animate it, as the transition between slides will add this automatically. Be sure to delete your English avatar from the layers by going to Position, selecting the layer and pressing the backspace on your keyboard. For the next slide, we need our avatar generated with a purple background, so I'm regenerating this last sentence and placing that over our previous avatar. Next, we'll remove the background on this avatar to match it to its English counterpart. There's no need to animate it, as the transition between slides will add this automatically. Using the transform box, we can adjust the avatar to be the same size and position while the background remover loads. Once resized, you can head to Position and delete the previous avatar. In the last slide, we didn't need to do this, as we were replacing the content inside a frame, so the previous video is automatically removed. Now that it's repositioned and the background is removed, we can jump straight ahead and go to the rest of our assets. The next clip we have to work with is this purple one. We know that the next piece of dialogue is below this space I've made to break up the script. So we can use this to determine what part of the video we need and trim accordingly, then enlarge and remove the background once again. The next slide is exactly the same, so I've sped up this process. We're once again duplicating the video and trimming it to the right sentence, then matching the formatting style to the original version. This next section of the video involves some use of the timing feature. For the first half of the slide, we have a transparent avatar, then for the second half, an avatar appears on screen to narrate the rest of the clip. First off, I'll add the on-screen avatar. I'll remove the background and right-click to find Show Timing, which allows me to control when this asset comes on and off screen. I'll do the same with the transparent avatar and place it at the beginning of the slide. So I'm adding the correct video, trimming to the correct sentence, and removing all opacity by clicking the square button to the right of the position button. You may have to drag the ends of your slide to make it longer if your dialogue no longer fits. This screen recording is sped up, so don't worry if it takes you a little longer to retime your assets. After a little tweaking, I've perfected the timing. We've made it to the final avatar clip in this video, which is this final line of dialogue. I'll yet again copy and paste from the last slide and retrim the asset to the last sentence and add a baseline animation to match the original. Now that we've correctly timed our avatar assets, we need to ensure all of the other elements such as text and graphics appear on screen at the right time. Seeing as language affects the length of clips, our other elements need to be synchronized to flow in line with this new dialogue. So I'll watch back through and stop when I notice any asset appear or disappear at the wrong time. Right-click and Show Timing to alter this. As you can see, I'm using the playback feature to change the speed of this video asset to make it synchronize with the avatar's narration. Lastly, we've translated all of our speech, but something's missing. The text is still all in English. We can also now delete our 2 pages of script at the end of the timeline. Usually this would take me forever to go through each page and Google Translate each line, but now we can head over to Canva's Translate feature. We'll deselect the duplicate pages option. Make sure language is set to Spanish and select all pages. We'll select Reduce Font Size to fit. If you're perhaps translating to Arabic, you may want to mirror your pages in line with the text direction. But for English to Spanish, we won't need to. Click Translate and let AI do the work for you. Now finally, watch through your pages and adjust the text to your liking. Sometimes the resize feature works perfectly, but you may need to make a few minor corrections. For instance, for this brand name, I want to keep it untranslated, but Canva has changed some of the royals to real, and in other slides I want my text to fill the screen, so I need to adjust the size to make this translation fit in with the arrangement on the slide. After these final touches, the video is complete. And hey, maybe you can learn a little Spanish in the process.